Atapu, assalamu alaikum. Namaste, Harun Nefer. This is Qesankh Keperu with another exciting video for you. In this video, we're going to talk about Carl Jung's secret to synchronicity. But before I go into that, I want you to hit the like button on this video. If this is your first time to my channel, hit the subscribe button to get notifications on when I go live and when I upload recorded videos. If you're interested in knowing more about my spiritual teachings, you can become a Patreon supporter for as little as $1, $5, or $20 per month. It's up to you. There are no obligations, and you can cancel anytime. You will get exclusive access to instructional videos on the spiritual, on the esoteric, videos that will teach you how to meditate, how to perform lucid dreaming, how to contact your ancestors and guardian angels, how to work with the oracle or the tarot. And we're also offering some really great things like mantras. We have a lot of mantras on there that will help you to attract wealth, a mate, whatever you need. And we also have some of my ebooks there. You can go and download those ebooks. They're free for Patreon supporters. So become a supporter today. Last but not least, share this video with family and friends so that we can get the revolution started. All right, Hetepu. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Carl Jung's synchronicity, and then I'm going to give you a secret that we apply to my workshop in New York to perform magical applications, such as in a ritual per se. But before we do that, let's talk about Carl Jung, who is a Swiss psychologist. And he was noted for getting into the esoteric, the metaphysical. And he started working with things like the I Ching and things like synchronicity, parallel dimensions, archetypes are one of the things he talked about. And a big breakthrough he made was discussing the collective consciousness, how we're all connected in 5D, which is oneness, connection with each other and connection with source. So Carl had came across in 1930 what he called was synchronicity, where events could happen. For example, you could be thinking about somebody that you haven't talked to in a long time, and suddenly they call you up. So he coined that synchronicity. You could be walking on the street thinking of orange juice, and suddenly you run into a little stand there with someone selling orange juice. So I'm going to give you an introduction to synchronicity as Carl Jung defined it in this little short video here. Let's take a look at this. Okay, great. Let's do it. Oh, my computer doesn't want to respond now. All right. It's fighting with me. Now that's Carl Jung.
Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst Carl Jung said this about synchronicity. Jung explained synchronicity as an ever-present reality for those who have eyes to see. Something that tells us that there is something more to the world than meets the eye, that there is a hidden order and intelligence that connects all things. Synchronicity reveals the meaningful connections between the subjective and objective world. It takes the coincidence of events in space and time as meaning something more than mere chance. Jung claimed that synchronicity is no more baffling or mysterious than the discontinuities of physics. It is only the ingrained belief in the sovereign power of causality that creates intellectual difficulties and makes it appear unthinkable. Quote, "The more closely I observed my patients and other people, the more convinced I became that this psychic layer of the unconscious, which is without material content, is a collective layer. The archetype, the unconscious element that dominates the picture, speaks of a possibility of a situation where the two worlds touch each other, where there is an interface between the psychic system and the physical system. Synchronicity is not just a phenomenon, it's a way of operating." Swiss psychiatrist and
Okay, that's great.
To find that two causal chains happened at the same time, but independent on each other, so that you could say they have nothing to do with each other. Of course, it's quite clear. But it's just so I speak of a red bar And at that moment, a red car comes here, you see.
Yes.
Now, I haven't seen it. It was impossible because it was behind the building. In this moment, the red car appears. Now, was a mere chance. The Rice experiment proves that these cases are not mere chance. We can't say, now this car has appeared because your remarks have been made about the red car.
Yes. It's not cause and effect.
Oh, this is a miracle that the red car appears. Not it is chance,
Yes.
just chance. But these chances happen more often than chance allows.
Yes.
And that shows that there is something behind it.
I like what he said. He said these things. Hold on one second. I like what he said when he stated that these things happen more often than chance allows. Because mathematically, he was doing the numbers. It was confounding science because mathematically this shouldn't be happening, these synchronicities. Now, what we were doing, and this is kind of like a case study, in New York is we were doing rituals to certain deities like Osir, Aset, Haru, Heteru. And what we notice is after we would do our rituals to those deities or even certain spirits, that certain synchronicities would happen. For example, we could do a ritual to Osset, and suddenly everywhere we go, we see white rice because that's a correspondence to Osset. You give her white rice as an offering. And the women will find you that they were encountering like white rice abnormally. And these were synchronicities. So what I began to do is I began to refine my magical application, my techniques, to take into account these synchronicities. And what I did was I called it pinging, kind of like when you're DMing somebody and you tell them to ping me later, And we would ask the deity when we do the ritual to ping us if they have heard our plea. And this was a way of us building our faith. Because if we ask the deity, in the case of Osset, to ping us, or reality to ping us, and then the women who did the Osset ritual would start to encounter the white rice, then they knew that the deity heard their plea and was on the case. Using synchronicity, we called it pinging. And what we noticed was that when we would do the ritual and ask the deity to ping us, if they received our message and they did ping us, then we knew our ritual was successful and that what we wanted would be coming soon. The technique of pinging. Now, this is kind of like this is not different than synchronicity. It's very, very similar. But this builds a direct one-to-one relationship with the spirit or the deity, because when you ask it to ping you, you know that there is an intelligence that has heard you and is replying, and that the communication has been opened. And then I take it a step further. I'll bring out the I Ching, and then I'll ask the deity if there's anything that it needs in terms of an offering in order to solidify things. And usually the deity may say, yes, I need a mango or something, and you present the mango, and then the deity is happy, and then it will go to work on your behalf. So where Carl Jung coined it synchronicity, and wrote extensively about it in 1930, I use the term pinging because I think it builds more of a one-to-one relationship with the intelligence, the deity, or some call it the faculty, like the faculty of Osir, the faculty of Heru, which is really an aspect of you because those faculties are within you. And where Carl Jung talks about the synchronicity is a communication of the inner world and the outer world. And that's absolutely right, because the inner world is you. And the outer world is the world, you can say kind of like the objective world in a way. And I want you to think about that the next time you're working on a ritual or you're doing a meditation. You can ask the spirit, deity, guardian angel, whoever it is that you communicate with, to ping you if it has heard your message, if it has heard your plea or your petition, as we call it, petitioning the deity. And you ask it to ping you. And the most important thing after that is you have to actually be open to where you will see the signs. If you're very closed-minded and doubtful, you won't see the ping or you won't see the synchronicity. So you've got to be open-minded about this and allow it to work upon you. And you'll notice you'll start to see things like on the clock, you may see 222 or 1111, and those are indications that the spiritual metaphysical realm is opening that channel of communication with you. It's a wonderful feeling. So I want you to keep that in mind, because that's very important. And magic, the way we practice is we try to get it as specific and scientific as possible so that there's no mistakes, so that you understand that there is something spiritual or metaphysical trying to communicate with you based on the fact that you've opened the door to that communication in your ritual or your meditation. Very important. So if you like this message, please feel free to donate to the channel. This is Qesankh Ma'at Keparu, son of Ma'at and Tahuti. Ma'at is the beautiful goddess Heteru. Until my next video, I'm in Ra.